And I had a gentleman who pretty much asked me if I can help him style. And I was like, yeah, let's set a date. And usually when I style people, I usually always ask questions, the style we're going for, colors, clothing, if we're doing brands, we're not doing brands, things like that, just to get to know the person.
Paso Robles Podcast. Yeah, we are recording now. I'm going to set like a 30-minute timer.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure I don't go over too much. This is the first time ever we're having a 30-minute timer or any kind of timer on the show, because I usually record until we're done talking.
We're done, yeah.
But
this is a scheduled interview.
This is a scheduled interview. This is actually, don't quote me, I'll have to double check everything, but I'm pretty sure you're the first one that has made a second appearance. On the show. Yeah, I haven't had anybody come back. I always talk to them. It's like, hey, I want you guys to come back. We'll do a follow-up, blah, blah, blah. But the first time I asked you, because I saw you're a unique individual, I want to have you here. I want to get to know you. I know of you because my sister worked with you or something, right? And now you're here because you wanted to ask to come in. Mm-hmm. So I'm actually, big question for me is, why?
You know what? The only reason why is the last time I was here, I had fun. I actually had fun doing this, and actually being able to kind of open up myself in a way where most people don't really know who I am or what I do and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's always fun to be able to do things like this. So coming back and doing it again, one, because why not? And then two, like I said, I had a good time last time, so
yeah,
feels good to be back.
I'm happy to see you. So a couple things stick out in my head as you come in.
Yes.
I think you have more piercings. Is that what's going on?
Yes. So I'm kind of obsessed with piercings, and it's funny though because my grandparents hate it. So I try to do it in a way where it's artistic and not where I'm just like adding and so I know the most recent one that I got was the lip piercing. And then I've been trying to get more in my ears, but I'm just kind of in a way craft the piercings into my face, but also not make it look like I'm overdoing it.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
Yeah. What got you into the piercings?
You know what? I don't know. I've never really had a reason or a method. I think the first time when I got, what was my first piercing? I think my first piercing was, I want to say my ears. And then from there, I was like, this is enough.
Yeah.
But then I started to see other people with piercings. And I'm like, you know what? How would it look like if I was to put this on me? So then I put then I got the eyebrow done. And then next thing I know, I'm like, you know what, let's add a little bit more. And then eventually I got the nose and then kind of just, kept working myself more and more. And eventually I just became obsessed with how it looked. Mm-hmm. So when I got more piercings, of course, my grandparents and my mom wasn't happy whatsoever. But then my mom kind of came around. She's like, you know what, you're expressing yourself. Just be careful. Don't get an infection and, whatnot. And then my grandparents, on the other hand, they're like, why are you doing this to yourself? Why are you doing that? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm still me, just with,
Yeah. More metal.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, no, it's been fun. It's just kind of, in my way, it's the way of expressing myself and then just accessorizing in a way. So, yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Rad Scooter Deli on 6th Street. Craving something delicious in Paso Robles? Rad Scooter Deli on 6th Street has you covered. Enjoy tasty sandwiches, fresh salads, and smoothies like the Banana Nut Blast, my personal favorite. Kick back on the covered patio, sip on a cold beer and wine, and enjoy the easy parking. Order online for pickup or dine-in. And here's a treat. Use promo code PODCAST for $5 off your next order. That's PODCAST for $5 off your next order. Open daily from 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Rad Scooter Deli. Local flavor, fast and fresh. This episode is sponsored by Western Janitor Supply. They have cleaning supplies and equipment for any workplace. Call today at 805-238-2112. They provide an extensive line of chemicals, paper products, and floor equipment. Again, that's Western Janitor Supply, located in downtown Paso Robles.
Yeah. So I know you do a lot of stuff. To me, I get the vibe that like you don't care what other people think, but at the same time you do, because you keep mentioning your grandparents and your mom. That kind of like hits home a little bit.
It does.
So as you're doing this, are you? In my head, what goes back to when I commit to something is it reversible? Like, I don't know, like, because the piercings you can take off and the holes heal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They'll close up. Are there any things that you're like thinking of doing that you're going to be like, I haven't touched that because it's not reversible? Like tattoo. I haven't gotten a tattoo because I know it's permanent.
Right.
You know?
So with me, almost the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't have any tattoos either, but I know I've been wanting one for the longest time. And I've been actually working with my cousin on this because he's an artist. And we've been slowly crafting this tattoo because I know it's not something small that I want to get. I want to get a full sleeve is what I want to get as my first tattoo. And of course, my friends and some of my family members are like, are you sure? Because like that's a big piece that you're going for. I'm like, I understand. But I've actually been working on it with him for a little over a year now.
Yeah.
So it's something that I've always, thought about, and it's been time coming that I've been wanting to do. So I know for that one, I'm kind of excited just because I know the design that I'm going for. It's more like a Disney villain tattoo. So to me, I don't think like it's something that's gonna be regrettable if I ever see it. So I think it's something that's gonna, kind of a way inspired an artistic method behind it, because both my cousins designing it, but it's something I'm excited to showcase.
Yeah. So, for me, it's like there's these tattoos ideas that keep coming to my head. One, it's like a sea turtle. I don't know why.
Okay.
I keep getting drawn to sea turtles.
Yeah.
And then the other one is like, the yin and yang and stuff like that.
Yes.
Just the balance of everything. But at the same time, like, I don't feel like I live my life that way too much. So it's like, it's one of those things where, like, if I commit to that, it's going to be like, okay, no, I don't want to. And then the sea turtle, I don't know enough about them. But for some reason, I just like how they look. But yeah, I've seen a lot of guys who like are, they have a full beard. I'm like, oh, I have a full beard. They wear hats. I'm like, oh, I wear hats. Not today because I left it with my kid.
Yeah.
And then they have this whole sleeve of tattoo. And I just see myself wanting to do that.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's like, I want to ask them, are they happy with it?
Yeah.
Like, are you happy with your piercings right now? Or have you like had any second thoughts?
I will admit, there's been moments that I kind of look at myself and I'm just like, I don't know, maybe I should just take them off and call it a day.
Yeah.
But then I've done it before because I've taken all of my piercings off and then I see myself and it's one of those things like you're already used to.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm naked without them. So I'm just like, no, I can't. And then when I re-add them again, I'm like, okay, this is me.
Yeah.
So it's been like a hit or miss.
This episode is sponsored by Valeria Genoves with Remax, your local real estate expert here in the Paso Robles and Central Coast. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, Valeria makes the process smooth, personal, and stress-free. She's bilingual, experienced, and ready to help. ¿Hablas español? Ella también. Call Valeria today at 805-212-6387 and let's get you a home. This episode is sponsored by Lion Pro Flooring. Give new life to your floors with beautiful, professionally installed flooring. Whether it's hardwood, luxury vinyl, or carpet, your home deserves a quality you can feel and craftsmanship you can trust. Serving Paso Robles in all of SLO County, Lion Pro Flooring is your local expert in transforming spaces. Call or text 805-712-3710 for a free estimate today. That's 805-712-3710, Lion Pro Flooring, when quality matters. This episode is sponsored by Santos Bros Plumbing. Are you in need of a dependable and effective plumber you can trust? Look no further than Santos Bros Plumbing, your trusted local plumbers in Paso Robles, California. Call them now at 805-360-4679. That's Santos Bros Plumbing.
Yeah. So with you, I see you like always wanting to change up your look a little bit. I mean, the outfit you wore the first time you were here was pretty straightforward, like a jersey. What is it called? The Letterman jacket.
Yeah.
And then now you're wearing all the bling on top of the bling. So for me, it's like what's the audience you're trying to reach? Like, are you trying to reach anybody, or just I mean, self-expression is
Yeah.
for sure one of the things, but like for me, it's like if I wear a hat, I don't know why, but like I don't want people to see my head. Like it's because I'm balding, you know.
Okay.
You know. And I saw pictures of me like 3 years ago, and I mean I was still like widow peak, but I had a whole bunch of hair here.
No,
Now it's
I
like
get it.
almost gone.
I get that.
Is it something you're trying to like express or cover?
Ooh. A little bit of both. So the main thing with my style is I just want to showcase, because the way I like to see myself is I like to see myself as walking art.
Okay.
With the way that I dress and whatnot. It is usually inspired from like other people, but I want to twist it into my own liking. But cover wise, in a sense, only because I've never really been kind of like happy or I guess proud of my body, and that's always been an issue since I can remember. And every time I would dress up, I would always just kind of cover up, and it's just layers that I would always have on me. And thankfully, I'm just now going to the gym, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better, and kind of slowly accepting my body, and like really, having more of acceptance towards how I dress and how I persuade myself. So it was a little bit of both, but it was mainly more designed towards just showcasing how I like to style myself. And with that, that's how I was able to kind of inspire other people. Like, I love how you dress, so I did this, or, I love how you put this in this, so I did that. And it's really a good feeling being able to just walk around in public and people are like, whoa, like, are you from here? Or, do you live in LA or things like that? So it's always fun being able to just showcase how I dress and have a little bit of inspiration for others to kind of follow along. But yeah.
Do you have an example of one of those inspired people that reached out to you or like talked to you right when they saw you?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So this moment, a while ago, I still do it now, it just kind of varies. But there was times that people would hire me to go shopping with them. And I had a gentleman who pretty much asked me if I can help him style. And I was like, yeah, let's set a date. And usually when I style people, I usually always ask questions, the style we're going for, colors, clothing, if we're doing brands, we're not doing brands, things like that, just to get to know the person. Most people assume that I'm putting my style on them. I'm not. I want to make sure that they are comfortable and they know what they want to wear. So I had a gentleman who gave me all the information. And at the last, I asked him, like, so what's the ultimate goal out of this? And he was like, I want to be seen. And I was like, this one like hit close. And I was like, all right, let's do it. And so I spent maybe 6 to 8 hours working with him, shopping. We went to different places. And at the end of the whole thing, I put, outfits together. And I was like, okay, I'm going to put these outfits together. And then when I'm done, then you get to put them together. He's like, what happens if I can't? I was like, just look at the color pattern, kind of go from there. And then just kind of, design it your own way. And then a few days later, he sent me a text message and he told me, hey, I just want to let you know, thank you so much for everything. I'm getting so many compliments and I'm actually being seen. The way that I just broke down just melted my heart, because I was able to, in a way, build something that I'm known for. And someone else kind of took the inspiration from that. And then they, built their own style. And from there, they felt accomplished and, in a way attracted as well. And I was just super grateful for that moment. And that's the reason why I love fashion and styling, because it's moments like those that give you a reason to wake up every morning and be like, all right, this is what I'm wearing. And then this is what's going to eventually, maybe, hopefully inspire someone else to then follow steps. Like I said, I do it for myself most of the times, but if I'm able to inspire someone or help someone, it really means a lot because someone is paying attention to what I do. And, in a way, it warms my heart. I love it. So that moment alone, it broke me. But I was so thrilled that something out of this, came out of it.
So I'm curious because this is the business side of me. Is
Yeah.
how are you? How are you getting the clothing? Is it their closet, and then you kind of mess with that and see what they have, or do you bring in clothing? Do you go somewhere where they provide the clothing?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm assuming it's out of town, out of the county, because slow. I've never seen anywhere where you might have more flexibility with expressing yourself. I mean, it's pretty. There's some places okay, but it's like really straightforward. You go into Kohl's, you get something, that's
Right.
it. But there's no like, I don't know. I just don't feel like a Pretty Woman montage going on, So I guess that's where my question is. Like, do you work with their existing closet, or do you find someone to help provide that?
It's a mixture. So in most cases, people usually have me go through the closet and just kind of pull outfits from there and see what they have. Majority of the time, it's actually me going with them shopping, and then we start building, or basically I start building the outfits for them. But most of the times, when I go through their closets, I usually like to see what they have, color patterns, things like that, and then build from there. Some people usually like to go 180 and just completely build a wardrobe from the ground up. So with that, I usually do go shopping, but I never have anyone import clothes for me, or I never have anyone bring clothes for me. It's always just me going with them shopping.
Okay.
And that's usually how I do it.
Yeah, because I can see, like, if I hired you, it would be like 180. Like there's nothing really matches. I wear black. I wear jeans. That's it. I wear a hat. Sometimes a jacket. Like even like the business casual side, I'll put a blazer on it with a plain black shirt, and that's it. Like I'm not gonna, I'm not that brave yet. But on top of that, it's like one of those things where, like, for me, body image is very much a thing. Like. Since we last spoke, I've lost all this weight, so I'm fitting better in clothing.
Good.
So my options of my clothing is expanding. So I guess for you, I mean, you go in there, you check the existing closet. If it's not in there, then you go shopping with them. Then my mind goes to, now you're working on budgets. So financially, you also have to be savvy there. So how do you approach that, if you do at all? Or do they have like a unlimited spending limit, which I doubt a lot of people have?
It really depends on the person, because I usually always ask them, what the budget, how much are we trying to spend? And then my other question is, are we trying to go with brands, or are we trying to go with something more affordable? Some people usually do like brands, so we go with brands. So of course, their budget's higher. Others are like, no. Like I even had some people that asked me if we can go thrift shopping. And I was like, yeah, like I love thrift shopping, because you can also find cool pieces there. So it really just depends, because each person is different. I had one client who didn't care. He was like, I don't care how much we spend. I just want to look good. I'm like, all right, yeah, let's go for it. And so we went to, of course, brand locations. So Calvin Klein, Gucci, things like that. And of course, I felt like amazing, because I felt like I'm, buying stuff at Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. But it was actually fun, because when it comes to brands, I really do like to focus on the coloring style and texture of each outfit. Because with brands itself, even though it's just a brand, I like to see it more of an upscale thing for me. So I really have to pay more attention to it. If we're doing like local stores like Target, things like that, I don't necessarily do less just because like, oh, we're going to go here, so I'm not going to pay attention. No, I still like to put that. It's just clothing there. It's a little bit more easier to find, because I can create a little bit faster.
Yeah.
So it really just depends. But no, each person's different. It's always exciting to work with someone, and the style they go for, it's always something different for me. It is a little stressful, because of course I don't like to copy and paste with each individual person.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that each person I work with has their own style that they want to go for, and then build from there.
Yeah. So the past week and a half or so, I've been looking at my finances a lot, and one of the things that is in a questionnaire is value of your clothing, and then spending limit on your clothing per month. And for me, I have the same underwear since like 2 years ago, so it's like they're holding on for dear life until Christmas. But so So do you have repeat customers? Is that something that's normal right now for you, or is that something that you haven't really experienced, like repeat customers that come seasonal?
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like? And then on top of that, is there a monthly spending budget for clothing for people? Does that exist?
You know what? I've never really paid attention to it. I will say though, so for me personally, I've always had, in a sense, kind of a spending for clothing. Or honestly, there's moments that I would just buy clothes and then see how much I would spend. And each time is different. But I always try to have it like in the same ballpark each time. But most recently, I haven't really been spending much just because it's one of those things where you can reuse the clothes over and over. It's just a way of how you're styling it. Because I've wore some things multiple times, and every time I style it differently, people always tell me, I'm like, that's new, isn't it? I'm like, no, I've had this for a long time. It's just I always style it differently, or I wear it differently, or sometimes I don't wear it for a while, and when I bring it back, people are like, yeah, that's new. I'm like, nope, it's been years old. So I don't really necessarily think people really have like a spending or a monthly spending, if you will. I think it's just at the moment that if you need new clothes and you just need new clothes. Because I know I had some clients who they do come back. It's more of like not monthly or anything like that. It's like once in a while here and there. It's like, hey, I want to rebuild my wardrobe again. I'm like, great, let's do it. But yeah, I haven't had any like repeated customers or clients that come back, you know, periodically to build their wardrobe. So I think it just varies on the person, honestly.
Yeah, because for me, I don't know why, but again, business and future and everything.
Yeah.
Like, there's a show called Bar Rescue. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
Yeah.
John Taffer, right? He goes into these failing bars and restaurants and then kind of revamps them and redoes everything. But regardless of the brick and mortar, he kind of trains also the people inside and tells them, like, you know, he can give them everything they want, but as if they don't fix their attitude, if they don't fix their strategy, their procedure, their process, their policy, whatever, it's not going to last. So he does a lot of like individual work too. So I see you at some point going into finances because, you know, clothing is money. You know, clothing is money. So, for example, you're already thinking about yourself, like I can reuse. But, you know, there's a lot of people out there that they do have to make a 180, and you kind of see the closet. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely start from scratch. So, I mean, this is just out of my curiosity. Has that like kind of messed around your head? Like, oh man, I might have to get better at the finances part, or do you just kind of like wing it for now, and then down the road you're like, I'll have my own show where I actually help them financially and stylish.
Yeah,
you know,
I've never really thought about it that way, but I know I do when I'm given a budget. I always like to use every penny of it, but use it in a way where I'm going to be able to get everything from, you know, from like a shirt, pants, shoes, socks, like even accessories, because I want to build the whole thing from the ground up. But at the same time, I'm not trying to go all just willy-nilly and, you know, just buy whatever I want and then go from there. So in a sense, I've never really, I guess I have. I pay more attention to the style than I do financially, just because at the end of the outcome that I want is I want to build each individual wardrobe for each person. So I think I focus more on the style than I do financially. But there have been moments where people do give me such a strict budget, and I was like, okay, so I just have to find a way to like slightly downscale on where we're gonna go, what we're gonna buy, and then at the same time what the full outcome it's going to be. So if somebody wants to do like a full 180, then I have to make sure that I first go through the closet to get a sense of idea of what they are usually are comfortable with. And then if I want to like push the envelope, I try to kind of match the same color palette where they feel comfortable enough to wear all of these. So it really just depends with each individual person. But yeah, if I'm being honest, I never really paid attention on financial side, even though I always ask everyone to give me a budget. But I always look more on the style side because that's my goal at the end of the day. So
yeah. So you go out of the county for shopping, from what I gather. Do you ever stay in Target nearby? Like, do you ever shop in Paso Slow County?
Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah, it really depends on where I'm going to go.
Okay.
And it also depends on the person, what they want to get, the style they want to go for, if they want to do brands or not. So it really just depends, because I know I've shopped locally. In some cases, I do travel out of the county just to kind of help them out as well.
Yeah.
And then some people are willing to even go to like, the city to get the style and wardrobe that they want, because usually here locally you can't really find much. So we do sometimes have to travel to be able to find what they want. So
have you walked around downtown to see because there's those small boutique places?
Yeah.
Have you gone around and checked them out? Like one that keeps popping up is Bijou, I think is one of them. And then there's a couple other ones that I'm not too familiar with. Like on 13th Street, there's one on the corner.
Right.
By the park, there's a couple of them. I think there's also a tasting room that also is part like clothing.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, and as Paso's growing, like I see the style also developing in Paso. It's like you see a lot more well-dressed people walking around. I'm walking around with like a regular T-shirt, and I look to my left and to my right, and you just see them like pea coats and hats and everything. I'm just like, okay, I might have to step up my game soon too.
It's a little hard because I know. Well, it really depends on what part of the county you're at. Because I know Paso, it's a little bit more upscale because of the wineries.
Yeah.
A-Town is a little bit more laid back. And then once you move into Slow, it's all just college kids. So they don't really care. So it really just depends. But I know I have, quite honestly, I don't really come to Paso as often. But when I do try to look here and there. A-Town, slowly getting there. It's usually like mom and pop shops, which those are fun. But there's moments that the style that I wear, I usually can't find there. Slow, same thing here, hit or miss. But I'm always people watching wherever I go, because I'm always just looking at the style that everyone's wearing. And then I sometimes do get inspired from others because I see a style that I love. I'm like, oh, I actually like that. And then just kind of nitpick from it. And then when I have the opportunity, I usually then try to build that same outfit in my own way. There's moments that I've literally copy and paste from other people.
Oh, really?
I have, just because I am always like, oh, I do love what they're wearing, and I just copy and paste it. But I always try to change the color scheme so that it's not like I'm literally copying you. But it's always just fascinating when you're just walking around and you're just seeing like everyone's sense of style, and I will admit there's moments I get intimidated because I always want to talk to people and be like, where did you get that? How did you find that? Do you always dress like this? And if so, I would love to see your closet, even though that may sound weird because people are like, no. But it's just fascinating when you're just walking around and just seeing like everyone's sense of style.
I think what you have going is a permission to approach people. Like that's what you're building that kind of personality anyway, right? You're literally giving yourself excuse to network. You're giving yourself a reason to talk to people. And I think as you grow your network, the saying is what your net worth is your network, so you get those people in your ecosystem, and then all of a sudden it just keeps going, and then 5 years from now you're just like, how did I get to this point? So how are you documenting all this? Like, I know people get hire you to work on their wardrobe, their closet. Are you allowed to like document the before and after pictures of how the closet looked? Like, how does that look like? Or like before and after images of that person themselves?
Yeah. You know what? If I'm being honest, I've never done it. I definitely should in the future, but I've never done it just because I know usually majority of the time it's privacy is the way I like to see it. But I know some of them usually do post on their own. And to me, I'm grateful for it because at that point you're showcasing with what I did. But yeah, I've never really done it. I will say though, I know one thing that I can say is I have a friend of mine named Alex, and we're actually working on a documentary about myself.
Okay.
And part of the documentary that we're doing is I'm also trying to showcase with what I do, the whole styling, and be able to show people how I do it, what inspired it, and what my goal is, moving forward. So I think that small piece of documenting is what's going to really showcase with what I do. Yeah. So I'm excited to be able to, show something like that, because I know people constantly ask me like, how do you do it? What do you do? And things like that. So being able to just showcase it on a large scale and as a one piece, I'm excited for that. I don't have to like repeat myself every single time.
Yeah. So for those of you trying to find somebody to help them with their style, their shopping and everything, how do they reach out to you? And I mean, are you allowed to say how much you charge? Or is it a percentage? Is it a flat rate? Like, what can you tell us?
Yeah. So normally, depending on who it is, I usually have a flat fee with most people. So I usually charge anywhere between $200 to $250 an hour just to be able to shop with people. And in most cases, some people kind of get shocked because they're like, that's actually kind of cheap, because usually like a professional stylist will charge way more. So I usually charge that, plus I also have the budget, and if someone's like really low on a budget, then I try to kind of help out with that. But usually people reach out to me by word of mouth, social media as well, or when people see the styles that I have, people are fascinated by it, and then they reach out to me. I have friends and family who usually will tell people like, oh yeah, he does this, he does that. So it really helps out a lot. But I don't really have like a business page or anything like that to like showcase with what I do. Just because I feel like with what I do already, that's already like the business itself. Yeah. So yeah, it just really depends on how it goes.
Yeah, and I think I asked this earlier. I don't know if I got an answer. Who's the audience you're trying to reach today?
With that, you know what? Anybody. Yeah. Really anybody. Just because I don't want to really limit myself in a sense. I really want to just showcase with what I wear, and anyone that gets attracted to it, that's kind of what I want to go for. I know I always like to change the style to kind of always have a different audience each time. Yeah. So I think for me, it's just an open variety. Yeah. Yeah.
No, yeah, that's awesome. I can see you having like just a business card or a QR code tattoo or something.
Imagine. I would. Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny. Yeah. Just every time I was like, yeah, just scan my arm and then go from there.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah. So, anything coming up before we wrap up this episode? Like any birthday? I know you go big on your birthday. So
you know what? So the last time we spoke, we had a discussion about Farrell, and I'm actually, in a way, a little surprised, but I'm actually very excited. So I actually spoke with Farrell not that long ago and jokingly asked him about doing another event. Yeah. And I told him, I was like, hey, so I reached out to you guys. Unfortunately, you guys shut me down, and we had a discussion. Well, it turns out that they're actually excited to partner with me again to do another event. And this time they want to do 2 events next year, one for the summer, one for the fall. Okay. So most likely I just started having meetings with Farrell, and it's most likely that we're going to have a collaboration once again for next year. So I'm really excited for that. So I like to tell people, I'm like, yeah, Faymakers is going Farrell. And I'm excited for that. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm also working with Alex on doing a documentary about myself. Basically, just kind of bringing people really into my personal life, from everything from where I'm at today with my health conditions, with what I do, with things like that, just because I've always been fascinated to see people interact with what I do and are intrigued with what I do, and with this whole situation that I'm going through, it's just very fascinating to me that people are interested, and it means the world a lot to me to have people like that. So that's one other thing is I'm also doing a documentary with Alex on that. We're hoping to release it next year, just in time to have it at film festivals, because I know that's one thing he also wants to do. I'm also working with my cousin to actually do a movie as well. She's been to New York Film School.
Okay.
And so it's just been a while. So her and I are gonna work together to create an actual film.
Yeah.
And once again, Alex will be filming the movie, so we're excited. So a couple projects here and there. I just did a photo shoot not that long ago. The photos will be coming out today. So of course, once this video's up, you'll probably eventually already see the photos.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I just like to keep myself busy. That's really all it is, and that's kind of what I'm shooting for. So I know next year I'm hoping to have more projects lined up, more things to do, expand my brand, which is myself, and then kind of go from there. So, yeah, I'm excited.
I know. I think 2026. I mean, we can say that about every single the year next, whatever.
Yeah.
But 2026 kind of seems like a year of like not fighting ourselves, but just like double down on ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's going to be a huge thing for 2026. Well, thank you so much for being on the show,
Thank
man.
you.
I appreciate you. And then we'll work on the third visit soon.
Listen, I've never realized how much I love doing, in a way, interviews like this, whether it be at a podcast, whether it be at an actual interview, you name it. It's just it's always fun because it's one of those things where when you get asked questions, you never know what you're gonna get asked, and then from there you open yourself up more and be able to reach out to more people and in a sense inspire people to what you either have to say or do. So no, this is fun. Thank you for having me once again.
No, it was fun. I got to learn a little bit more too. So thank you so much. I appreciate you, man.
Of course, thank you. I appreciate you.